Hi ladies. Okay, today I want to touch on this brush right here, which is called our powder brush. Now this one is one that you can find within a collection, so you can get the powder brush and the vanilla dust setting powder as a bundle, which is really good for using this flat end here to press that setting powder onto your face when you're all finished with your makeup. But what I want to show you today is, even though it comes in a bundle with the setting powder, you can use it to apply your 3D makeup as well, okay? So I'm going to walk you through the way that you can use this brush if you have it all on your own, just using our little handy dandy compact here and this brush. Now, the powder brush is more of a fuller coverage brush. So if you remember me talking, the more movable the bristles are, the lighter coverage it's going to be, the more natural light look that you're going to get, okay? Now, just like the buff brush, these bristles are super dense, okay? So it's gonna help you get a little bit more fuller coverage when you are applying your makeup. So you have one end here, it has a little bit of an angle, which is great for getting into smaller crevices. And you can see the bristles don't move much, okay? So they're super dense. So you're gonna get a little bit more makeup, helping you get that fuller coverage look. On the opposite side, you have this flat end here, a little bit of an angle still. So it's not specifically like the detail where it's all flat like that, but it's a little bit angled, and that's why it's really good to use with our vanilla dust setting powder. But you notice there's a little bit more movement on this side, okay? So it's not as dense, as a pointier, okay? Let's apply our makeup. Now I'm gonna show you, because I've got the deep dark under eyes, I'm gonna show you how I can also incorporate using my mango, which is great for me for some of that concealing of those dark, either freckles or kind of those purples that are coming through. Now, everyone may be different for their color corrector, so don't just assume that mango would work for you. I have a little bit richer of a skin tone, so it works perfect for me. So I'm gonna come with that dense end, okay, the small pointy end, and I'm going to start by putting a little bit of my color corrector right into the areas where I'm seeing some of that bluish purple and some freckling going on, okay? The thing that's really nice about the powder brush is it does get into that small crevice for us and helping conceal that area. So just a very light stipple is all we need to place right inside. Okay, and because I got a lot of freckling going on, I'm gonna put a little bit there as well. And a little bit on my nose, because it looks a little red and a little freckly today, okay? So there we go, that's kind of like my camo color. All right, so I'm going to stay on this side for a little bit, and I'm gonna work my way through the different colors, okay? So I'm gonna come into my brightening highlight color and tap it on. So you notice as I'm applying this makeup, because the bristles are so dense, I'm gonna use this very tapping-like motion, okay? And that's gonna help me get the coverage that I want without applying too much makeup and utilize that fuller coverage look, but without getting too cakey, okay? So just think about tapping it on, because it's got that denser end. You're gonna tap it just like so. All right, now let's come into my contour. Again, tapping right in. And now actually what I'm gonna do, what I like to do, because it has that angled end, I flip it over and kind of stamp it. Think of like stamping it upside down, okay? Because where I placed my brush into my contour, it's gonna be more on this edge or that ridge. So I wanna make sure the deepest, darkest points of my contour are at the bottom of my cheekbone, okay? Not towards the top. So the deepest and darkest create that beautiful, nice contour line, as you can see here. just by flipping that over and using more of that angled end. So a lot like how we use the detail brush on that edge as well. Now I'm just going to tap on in again, and we're just going to tap my contour right up along our forehead. So again, you see how I'm doing more of that tap-like motion because the bristles are so dense, there's not as much movement. And then let's use up the rest right along my jaw. And I'm even going to tap a little bit in here and line my lips, okay? If you wanted to, you could take it down the sides of your nose. Because I have that freckling, I don't need too much here. Or if you have any excess, you can just take it and run it down the sides of your nose. Again, using that pointed edge because it gives you that flexibility in doing so. Now is when I want to flip my brush over. And I am going to come into my main highlight color, but I like using this end here because it has a little bit more movement, so it won't be as much makeup being applied, especially in the areas where I really want the movement on my face. So I'm gonna tap on in, I'm gonna use Sandy today. And with this end here, it allows you to really stipple that product in. So this is a really great brush if you have textured skin that you are trying to eliminate or just decrease the appearance, okay? Because you can come in and really press that product on, it's going to get into those textured areas. If you have fine lines, acne, anything of that such, okay? But notice how it makes it a lot easier just to come in and stipple that product on, and how I'm getting that coverage already in that textured area. Let's pull a little bit down my neck, and then we are just going to blend this contour right on into it since I'm here. And it has had a little chance to acclimate. Just pull my sweater down, make sure that we are blended. Okay. Again, I'm going to come fill in the gaps, and I'm just kind of stamping or pressing that product into my skin. So make sure I get my nose, and then we're gonna come right back into the under eye area and blend. So the other nice thing about the powder brush is it still has that angle, so it allows you to really get into those smaller areas, even on this end here with a little bit more flexibility. We'll just run it over my eyelid. So this end here does allow for gentleness around your eye. We're just gonna take it right up over into my temple, okay? Make sure everything is blended here. Now, you could do a couple of things. You could flip on over. We can play with a little bit of both. And I'm more of the dense end of my brush, so I can just come in and pull that right on back into my hairline. And then even on this side here, start to tap. And again, I'm gonna flip it over so that way when I'm doing my flicks upward, it helps keep that nice contour right along my cheekbone. Okay, so that's gonna really help chisel out that area for you. I am gonna come in with a little bit of bronzer yet, so I won't over blend because I don't want to lose any of this contour. Okay, just kind of stamping, and then it's hard to see here because I have to there we go. And I flip my brush so that way I'm pulling upward, keeping that nice chiseled cheekbone. Okay, so there is a lot of beauty with this brush, even though it comes and it pairs really well with our Vanilla Dust Setting Powder, okay? So let's come into a little bit of Bella Bronzer. I'm just gonna use this end here to come in and apply some of that bronzer. And let's come in and pick a lip and cheek. Let's go with, oh, I don't know, Boardwalk. We'll come in with Boardwalk. I'm just gonna apply it right here, right above my contour. And that way, when I flip on over, I'm just gonna blend it all in. So I do like using this end, especially to come in and blend my Bella bronzer. So notice here, I can do a little bit more of those circular motions, and I can still stamp right up on top of my contour. But now I'm getting that beautiful light finish, which is what I like to go for. Bring a little bit into my cheeks today. Okay. Brush out those brows. I already filled them in this morning just to save on time. And let's go with, I'm gonna come in with a little bit of Bella on my lips. And then I'll come in to Boardwalk. Just richen it up a little bit. Kind of match the sweater vibes that I have going on. Okay, so there you have it. So you get a little bit fuller coverage because of the density of the bristles, and I didn't take any bronzer down here, so let's use up what I got on my brush. There we go. Okay, so don't be afraid. If you purchase this brush as a combination, as that bundle with the vanilla dust, you can use it for your vanilla dust all you want, but just know that you can also use it to apply your 3D makeup as well. Again, that angled end here, that's how I like to kind of cheetah hack it onto my face, get into those smaller crevices, place that product, and then the fluffier end here is how I like to blend it out. It just gives me a little bit lighter of a finish. But if you were to come into your vanilla dust at the end, I like using this flat end here. Okay, so I'm again just pressing into my vanilla dust and really just press it into those areas where you want more of a stronger hold, matte finish, or just kind of in that T-zone area where a lot of times you might get a little bit more oil production. If you have fine lines, wrinkles, you want to stay away from a lot of the creasing in this area, because if you start to apply that powder up in this area, it's just going to accentuate your fine lines. Or if you have laugh lines around here, I would suggest that you don't put that setting powder there, but keep it in that T-zone area to get a little bit more staying power, or if you want more of that matte finish. Okay? All right, there you have it. That is the powder brush. Any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope that was super helpful.